Alright, good evening, this is Lucky Link. Someone asked me could I do another tip video on scrying. A couple years ago I did one on how to scry, and for those of you who are interested in learning the art more deeply, I have a class on it, a virtual class on it, and I show you all sorts of tips that will make all sorts of things you'll learn in this class will actually make your tarot reading, your palmistry, everything better. Because I show you how to sort of calm yourself, how to get to a place where you actually get more in touch with your intuition. But for this, I'm just going to show you something quick, something simple. So what you want to do is you want to, I don't know if you can even see that. Let's get that like that. Right. So for those of you who haven't seen my first video, it was one of the first videos I ever did. It's how to scry. You want to be sure when you scry that you're relaxed. Okay. You want to be sure that you remove all judgment. So what you're seeing, you can't judge and dismiss right away. Now there's a process that you get to where you sort of learn how you interact with the images and what the images say to you. So be sure. And you know what? Actually, it's funny because sometimes I use sometimes I need glasses for reading, sometimes I don't, and I don't know that I necessarily need it for scrying, but I'm going to use it today. Like I said, you want to relax your gaze. I said in the other one, you want to relax your gaze. And as I said in the first video, the images that come to you you're not seeing them with your two eyes. Now, I've had people say, well, yeah, I do see with them. Okay, all right, if you do see them with your two eyes, that's great. For the majority of people, now I read something the other day that someone said that if the ball goes smoky, then you know you're connected to it and that it's right. It's not true. It may be for that individual that they've set up something, so it's like a device that they have to tell themselves, but it's not necessarily true. So relax, gaze into the ball. You guys have been looking at my scrying video, or my scrying posts lately have been asking me more about it. Whatever image comes to mind or whatever image comes out, I don't judge. So, and I know that, and as I've said before, the ball is just a tool. It sort of gets you into the place where you're relaxed enough and your critical factors are bypassed. You're sort of using it as a hypnosis tool. So for those of you who've ever seen the hypnosis using the watch, or the hypnosis using the hypnotist using the crystal ball, or them having you gaze into a light or something, or into a candle flame, it's eye fixation. What's going to happen is it's going to actually, let's just say it bypasses your critical factors, all right? So you're going to relax, it's going to relax your gaze. If you're, like I said in the first video, if you're like doing this and you're focusing really hard, you're engaging your critical factors. So you want to take a nice deep breath 3 times. See, now I'm to the point now where after practicing, I've got 15 images coming out of this thing right away. I don't worry about inclusions. I prefer them, as I've said in the first video. I prefer inclusions. They give me a lot of images. There are some people that don't want inclusions. I use these now. I have a bigger ball. Those of you who've seen the first video, I have a bigger clear quartz ball. I love these, and ever since I did this retreat that I went on with His Holiness Padma Gampa Rinpoche, the Dark Waters Tibetan Bond Empowerment, I just love. I have one now that I use all this. This is fluorite. I have one that's quartz. I have one that's labradorite, and I have one that's ametrine, and I have one that's amethyst, and I use them all the time now. So just, you have to relax. You have to get yourself out of the way and don't judge. So that's really the main point of this video, because the other stuff gets kind of technical. And in the class, I actually take you through scrying using cards and then using other methods, using water, using the ball. And I show you how to use the ball itself to get you in a place where you're so relaxed, that you're so connected to your intuition that you can use it for your cards and anything you do. So the point of this video is take a deep breath, get yourself out of the way, relax, don't worry about the tool. Like I said in the first video I did on scrying, if you're collecting them, that's great, but it doesn't matter. In the end, you got to sit, you got to look into it, you got to connect to the person that's in front of you. And you may do that just by connecting to them. You may talk to their guides, and I actually talk about that in the class. I show people how to, you can. But again, this whole thing where people make the spirit guide thing a religion, that's going way out of where you need to be. The point is that when the images start coming, stop judging them and saying, well, that's not it. That's the biggest advice I can give you right now. One of the things that stops people from doing it is the minute they start to get the images, they judge them based on something they've either seen on TV or read in some book. Like I said, I read this thing the other day where someone said, well, the ball has to go smoky, and if you see mist in the ball and goes smoky, then you know it's right. It's not true. That's just not true. That's that person's method. And then the point is that once you can get past the judging phase, then you actually start to see things a little more clearly. You can put the pieces together. But like I said, there's a process where you figure out how the images that you get, what they mean, and then what they're saying to you, and what your subconscious is trying to teach you or tell you, or what you're getting off the other person. Now, I have this method where I actually pull it off the other person too. And I'm not suggesting that everyone does that or everyone does that, but I'm being honest, that's what I do. A lot of times I'll pull it off the person. So when I do a general read, I'll feel out there for whomever's going to look at it or need it, and then I look in the ball, and then, so you can ask a specific question, or you can just look in the ball and see what you get. These days, I'm preferring scrying much more to cards, to be honest, and other methods to cards, because I think there's a lot more flexibility and a lot more fluidity in it. However, if you practice this, you'll get better reading at cards, you'll get better at reading palmistry, you'll get better at reading tea leaves, everything. So the key is don't judge. Stop judging. Let the images come, and then the trick then is you got to learn how to interpret the images. Okay, I don't believe that the books that are out there that are this image means this. No, not necessarily. I do know that with a lot of the animal stuff, if you get animal images, a really good person's stuff to read on animal symbolism, I think is Ted Andrews. Ted Andrews, that book that he did called Animal Speaking. That's good. So that's it. Relax yourself. Gaze into the ball. Don't judge what you get. Get out of your own way. If you read for another person, it's probably gonna develop much quicker. And then the trick is to learn how to interpret what you get in a way that's significant for what's, because it's gonna come as symbols. It's not gonna come as in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, she says your bike is in the Alamo in the basement. It doesn't come like that. It comes in images, and it comes in symbols, and then you've got to interpret the symbols for the person. And it may be that those symbols are coming off that person, it may be that the symbols are coming from you, but that's where the trick comes in. Okay, learning how to interpret those, and that takes practice, and that takes work, and this is something you have to practice, and you have to keep doing, and you have to keep working at to get really good at. So if you guys want to take a class in it, I have a class in how to scry and how to use this. But like I said, I have these with me now at all times, and these are great. These little ones are fantastic for scrying, and I don't even, they have those crystal balls. I use my ring for it, so I take my ring off and I use my ring. It's perfect. So that's it. That's what I can give you right now on scrying, and if you want to learn deeper, I can show you more. But the key is and keep an attitude of play and of fun. this seriousness that surrounds all this is great. Oh, and by the way, you know what? I'm going to say this. If you go into this, actually, I'm glad I thought of this. If you go into this with this whole, well, I'm doing this as a message of love, well then, stop the judgment. That's a judgment, okay? So, well, I want to give this person a loving, no, you want to give the person what they're asking you for and what they need. And if you put your emotions on it, your determinations of what the message should be, like, I'm only opening up to the universal love. No, you're judging what you get. So that's just another method or way of judging what you get. You have to be kind of blank when you do this. You have to see the image, and then you have to be able to interpret the image in terms of what the person needs. So stop putting all this judgment on it. You've read this book that says that you have to believe in this kind of loving consciousness, or you've read that book that says we should all strive to be that. No, this isn't about this. This is about divination. This is about getting the information to the person sitting across from you, or getting the information that you need. So stop putting your judgments on it, and that's what will unlock the ball for you. I'm Lucky Links, as always, wishing you success and good fortune in all that you do. Hey, if you want to schedule a reading with me, 779-302-8009, or conjurehope@gmail.com if you want to scrying with me. It's pretty wild. If you want to take the class in this, same thing, 779-302-8009 or conjurehope@gmail.com. And hey, if you like these videos and you want to donate to help keep them coming, I'll put my PayPal, my Venmo in the spot below. Share this, like this, subscribe, and hit the little bell that lets you know when a new video is up.